There exists within every human being a magnetic force so powerful, so compelling, that when properly awakened and directed, it can transform not just your own destiny, but the destinies of countless others who cross your path. This force is not reserved for the naturally gifted, the wealthy, or the well-connected. It lies dormant in the grocery store clerk, the factory worker, the struggling entrepreneur, the overwhelmed manager. It waits patiently in you, right now, ready to be unleashed, the moment you understand its true nature. This force is charismatic leadership, and it operates according to 7 immutable laws that, when mastered, will make you a person others instinctively want to follow, support, and believe in. But here is what most people misunderstand about charisma. They think it is a gift you are born with or without. They think it is about being the loudest voice in the room, the most confident speaker, or the most charming personality. They are wrong. Charisma is not about performance. It is about presence. It is not about what you say. It is about what you become. And what you become is determined by how deeply you understand and apply these 7 secrets that separate ordinary leaders from those who possess that rare quality that makes others say, there is something special about that person, something that draws me to them, something that makes me want to be part of whatever they are building. The first secret lies in understanding that true charismatic leadership begins with radical authenticity, not the kind of authenticity that people talk about in corporate workshops, where they encourage you to be yourself while still conforming to expectations. I mean the kind of authenticity that strips away every mask, every pretense, every attempt to be what you think others want you to be. This is terrifying for most people because it means admitting your fears, acknowledging your weaknesses, and standing naked, so to speak, before the world. But here is the paradox that few understand. The moment you stop trying to impress others and start trying to express your genuine self, you become infinitely more impressive. People are hungry for real human connection in a world full of polished facades and carefully crafted images. When they encounter someone who is courageously authentic, who admits when they do not know something, who shares their struggles alongside their victories, who shows their humanity without apology, something magical happens. Trust is born, and trust is the foundation upon which all charismatic leadership is built. You cannot fake this kind of authenticity. People have an almost supernatural ability to detect pretense. This does not mean you should share every personal detail or burden others with your problems. It means you should show up as yourself, not as who you think you should be. It means having the courage to say, I do not know when you do not know. It means admitting mistakes quickly and without excuse. It means allowing your personality, your quirks, your unique way of seeing the world to shine through everything you do. When you operate from this place of radical authenticity, you give others permission to do the same. And when people feel safe to be themselves around you, they will follow you anywhere. The second secret is perhaps the most overlooked aspect of charismatic leadership, yet it is the one that creates the deepest and most lasting connections with others. It is the power of profound listening, not the polite listening that most people practice while they wait for their turn to speak, not the selective listening that focuses only on information that confirms what they already believe. I am talking about the kind of listening that makes another human being feel truly seen, heard, and understood for perhaps the first time in their lives. This type of listening is revolutionary because it goes against every instinct we have in our achievement-oriented, attention-scarce world. We are conditioned to focus on what we want to say next, how we can add value to the conversation, how we can demonstrate our knowledge or expertise. But charismatic leaders understand something profound. The person who feels most heard in any conversation will remember that conversation, and more importantly, they will remember the person who made them feel that way. When you listen with your entire being, when you put down your phone, turn your body toward the speaker, maintain eye contact, and focus completely on understanding not just their words, but their emotions, their fears, their hopes, their unspoken needs. You create a connection that transcends the ordinary. You become someone people trust with their thoughts, their dreams, their concerns. And when people trust you with their inner world, they begin to see you as someone worth following. This kind of listening requires tremendous discipline, because your ego will constantly try to redirect the conversation back to you. It will whisper that you should share your similar experience, offer advice, or demonstrate your knowledge. Resist these impulses. Instead, ask questions that go deeper.
Reflect back what you are hearing to ensure understanding. Show genuine curiosity about their perspective. Make them the hero of the conversation, not yourself. When you consistently make others feel important, valued, and understood through your listening, you become important and valuable to them. This is not manipulation. This is recognition of a fundamental human need and your willingness to meet that need for others. The third secret involves a quality that distinguishes charismatic leaders from all others, and that is their exceptional emotional intelligence. This goes far beyond simply being nice or getting along well with people. Emotional intelligence in the context of charismatic leadership means having an almost uncanny ability to read the emotional undercurrents in any situation and respond in ways that elevate everyone involved. It means recognizing when someone is struggling, even when they are trying to hide it, and knowing how to offer support without making them feel weak or exposed. It means sensing when a team is frustrated, discouraged, or losing momentum, and knowing exactly what to say or do to rekindle their enthusiasm and commitment. It means understanding that every human interaction is both a transaction and an emotion, and that the leaders who focus only on the transaction while ignoring the emotion will never achieve the kind of influence that creates lasting loyalty and inspiration. Charismatic leaders develop this emotional intelligence through constant observation and genuine care for others. They study human nature, not to manipulate, but to serve. They learn to recognize the signs of stress, excitement, confusion, hope, fear, and ambition in others. They understand that people make decisions based on emotion and then justify those decisions with logic. So they learn to speak to both the heart and the mind. But here is what makes this truly powerful. Emotionally intelligent leaders do not just recognize emotions in others, they manage their own emotions masterfully. They understand that their emotional state sets the tone for everyone around them. When they are calm in crisis, others become calm. When they are optimistic in uncertainty, others find hope. When they are resilient in setback, others discover strength they did not know they possessed. This is not about being perfect or never experiencing negative emotions. It is about being intentional with your emotional energy and understanding the ripple effect your emotions have on others. It is about choosing to respond rather than react. It is about modeling the kind of emotional maturity that others aspire to develop. When people see you handling pressure with grace, maintaining composure in chaos, and treating others with respect even when you disagree with them, they begin to trust your judgment. They begin to believe that following you is the smart choice because you demonstrate the kind of emotional stability and wisdom they want in their own lives. The fourth secret is where charismatic leadership transforms from personal influence to organizational impact, and that is the ability to cast a vision so compelling that others cannot help but want to be part of making it reality. But this is not about painting pretty pictures of the future or making inspiring speeches, though those certainly have their place. This is about developing the rare ability to see possibilities that others cannot see, to articulate those possibilities in ways that make them feel both achievable and essential, and to help others understand their unique role in bringing those possibilities to life. Visionary leadership begins with your own clarity about what you believe is possible and necessary.
It requires you to spend time thinking beyond the immediate problems and challenges to imagine what could be if the right people apply the right effort in the right way. This vision cannot be vague or generic. It must be specific enough that people can see themselves in it, compelling enough that they want to sacrifice for it, and achievable enough that they believe it is worth their investment of time and energy. But having a vision is only the beginning. Charismatic leaders understand that a vision shared poorly is no vision at all. They learn to communicate their vision in stories, in images, in experiences that make the future feel real and present. They connect their vision to the values and aspirations of their audience. They help people understand not just what they want to achieve, but why it matters, why it is urgent, and why this particular group of people is uniquely positioned to make it happen. They paint pictures of the impact, the difference it will make in the lives of customers, communities, families. They help people see how achieving this vision will help them become who they want to become. Most importantly, charismatic leaders make their vision feel like our vision. They do not position themselves as the sole architect of the future, but as the facilitator who helps others discover their own role in creating something meaningful. They ask questions that help people connect their personal goals and values to the larger mission. They celebrate the unique contributions that each person brings to the vision. They make people feel ownership of the outcome, not just responsibility for tasks. When people feel like co-creators of the vision rather than just employees following orders, their level of commitment and creativity increases exponentially. They begin to see obstacles as challenges to overcome rather than reasons to give up. They start bringing ideas and solutions rather than just problems.
They become evangelists for the vision, sharing it with others, and recruiting allies. This is how movements are born, and charismatic leaders understand that every great achievement is ultimately the result of a movement of committed people working toward a shared vision. The fifth secret reveals itself in how charismatic leaders interact with power and authority, and it fundamentally challenges most people's assumptions about leadership. While conventional leaders focus on accumulating power for themselves, charismatic leaders focus on giving power away. They understand that their success is measured not by how much they control, but by how much they enable others to achieve. This approach to leadership requires a fundamental shift in mindset from being the hero of every story to being the mentor who creates heroes. It means resisting the ego's desire to be indispensable and instead working to make others more capable, more confident, and more effective. When charismatic leaders see someone with potential, they do not see competition or threat. They see opportunity. They see someone who could become even more effective with the right guidance, resources, and encouragement. They invest time in developing others, not because they have to, but because they understand that their own success multiplies when the people around them are successful. This is not delegation in the traditional sense, where you assign tasks to others while maintaining tight control over the process and outcome. This is empowerment, where you give others the authority, resources, and support they need to succeed, and then you get out of their way. It means helping people develop skills that might eventually surpass your own.
It means recommending others for opportunities that you could have taken yourself. It means sharing credit generously and taking responsibility for failures that were not entirely your fault. It means celebrating the achievements of your team members as enthusiastically as you would celebrate your own. When you consistently demonstrate that you are more interested in their success than in your own recognition, something remarkable happens. People stop seeing you as someone who is trying to use them for your own advancement and start seeing you as someone who is genuinely invested in their growth and success. They begin to trust you with their ambitions, their concerns, their ideas. They start bringing you their best work because they know you will use it to help them shine rather than to make yourself look good. This creates a loyalty that goes far beyond professional obligation. It creates a commitment that persists through challenges, setbacks, and even career changes. People will follow leaders they respect, but they will move mountains for leaders who have invested in their success and believed in their potential when they did not even believe in themselves. The sixth secret becomes apparent only when charismatic leaders face their greatest test, and that is their response to adversity, failure, and setback. While others crumble under pressure, make excuses, or blame circumstances beyond their control, charismatic leaders demonstrate a resilience that becomes a source of strength and inspiration for everyone around them. But this resilience is not about being tough or unemotional or pretending that difficulties do not affect them. True resilience is about processing setbacks quickly and completely, learning everything possible from them, and then moving forward with renewed determination and wisdom. It is about being vulnerable enough to acknowledge when things are hard, while being strong enough to focus on solutions rather than problems. When charismatic leaders encounter failure, they model a response that teaches others how to handle their own inevitable failures. They take responsibility without making excuses. They analyze what went wrong without dwelling on it. They extract lessons without losing confidence. They adjust their approach without abandoning their vision. They communicate honestly about the situation without spreading panic or despair. They demonstrate faith in their ability to overcome while remaining realistic about the challenges ahead. This approach to adversity creates what can only be described as magnetic leadership. When people see you handling failure with grace, learning from mistakes without being destroyed by them, and maintaining optimism without ignoring reality, they begin to believe that following you is the safest choice they can make. Not because you will never fail, but because when you do fail, you will handle it in a way that makes everyone stronger. They begin to see you as someone who can be trusted with their careers, their projects, their hopes for the future. They start bringing you their biggest challenges because they have seen how you transform problems into opportunities for growth. They become willing to take risks with you because they know that even if things do not work out as planned, you will find a way to make the experience valuable and meaningful. This kind of leadership creates teams that are anti-fragile, meaning they actually become stronger through stress and challenge rather than being weakened by it. When you demonstrate that setbacks are temporary and that growth is permanent, you create a culture where people are willing to attempt great things because they know that failure is just another form of education, not a verdict on their worth or potential.
The seventh and final secret is perhaps the most challenging for many people to embrace because it requires abandoning the illusion that you can ever stop growing, learning, and improving. Charismatic leaders are distinguished by their relentless commitment to continuous growth, not just in their knowledge and skills, but in their character, their understanding of others, and their ability to create positive impact in the world. This is not about attending seminars or reading books, though those activities certainly have value. This is about maintaining a mindset that remains curious, humble, and open to feedback throughout your entire life. It is about understanding that the moment you think you have arrived, you have actually begun to decline. It is about recognizing that every person you meet, every experience you have, every challenge you face, contains lessons that can make you more effective and more valuable to others. Charismatic leaders are students of human nature, students of their industry, students of leadership itself. They actively seek feedback even when it is uncomfortable. They surround themselves with people who are smart enough and brave enough to challenge their thinking. They experiment with new approaches, even when their current methods are working well. They invest time and energy in developing skills that may not pay dividends for years. They read, study, observe, and practice with the dedication of athletes training for the Olympics. But here is what makes this commitment to growth so powerful in the context of charismatic leadership. When people see that you are constantly working to become better, they begin to believe that being around you will make them better too. They start to see you as someone who can help them grow, learn, and achieve things they could not achieve on their own.
They become attracted to your energy, your curiosity, your commitment to excellence. They want to be part of whatever you are building because they sense that the journey itself will be transformative. Growth-oriented leaders also create cultures of continuous improvement. They ask better questions, encourage experimentation, celebrate learning from failures, and model the kind of intellectual humility that makes others feel safe to admit what they do not know and ask for help when they need it. They understand that in a rapidly changing world, the ability to learn and adapt is more valuable than any specific knowledge or skill. They help others develop this ability by creating environments where curiosity is rewarded, where taking intelligent risks is encouraged, and where growth is valued more than perfection. These 7 secrets work together in ways that create a compound effect. Authenticity makes your listening more powerful because people trust that you genuinely care about what they have to say. Emotional intelligence amplifies your ability to cast compelling visions because you understand what motivates and inspires others. Empowering others increases your resilience because you have built a team that supports you through challenges. Continuous growth ensures that your authenticity never becomes stagnation. Your listening skills keep improving. Your emotional intelligence becomes more sophisticated. Your visions become more compelling. Your empowerment of others becomes more effective, and your resilience becomes stronger.
But perhaps most importantly, these secrets compound over time. Every authentic interaction builds trust. That makes future interactions more powerful. Every person you listen to deeply becomes an advocate for your leadership. Every demonstration of emotional intelligence increases your influence. Every compelling vision you cast attracts more talented people to your cause. Every person you empower becomes a multiplier of your impact. Every setback you handle with grace increases confidence in your leadership. Every skill you develop and share makes you more valuable to others. This is why charismatic leadership is not about techniques or tactics that you can master in a weekend workshop. It is about becoming the kind of person others naturally want to follow, because following you helps them become the best version of themselves. It is about developing character that creates credibility, competence that creates confidence, and care that creates connection. When you embody these qualities consistently over time, charisma stops being something you try to project and becomes something you simply are. The path to charismatic leadership is not easy, but it is simple. Start where you are, with who you are, and begin the work of becoming more authentic, more attentive, 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 more visionary, more empowering, more resilient, and more committed to growth. Do this not because you want to be charismatic, but because you want to be useful. Do this not because you want others to follow you, but because you want to help others become leaders themselves. Do this not because you want power, but because you want to make a positive difference in the world. When your motivation is service, rather than self-promotion, when your goal is contribution, rather than recognition, when your focus is impact rather than image, charisma becomes the natural byproduct of who you are and what you stand for. People will be drawn to you not because of what you can do for them, but because of what you help them become. They will follow you, not because you demand it, but because following you is the best decision they can make for their own growth, success, and fulfillment. This is the ultimate secret of charismatic leadership. It is not about you at all. It is about others. And the moment you truly understand this, the moment you make this the foundation of your approach to leadership, you will discover that you possess a power more magnetic than charm, more compelling than personality, more enduring than popularity. You will possess the power to transform lives, to build great teams, to create lasting impact, and to leave the world better than you found it. This is not just leadership. This is legacy, and it begins with your very next interaction with another human being.